Now we are at the 4450. This is the last tractor that my grandfather bought new in 1984. I was actually the first one to drive this tractor. I remember the day it was delivered. It was delivered in the middle of February in 1984. A friend of mine and myself, we were riding snowmobile. We were off on winter break from school, and we were up riding snowmobiles in a field, and I seen it coming down the road on the equipment delivery trailer. And the truck driver at the time, his name was Bruce, and I pulled the 4440 that my grandfather traded in out of the machinery barn, and he had this all unchained. He drove it off of the trailer, and I drove it into the shop, and that was in 1984. This is got a Powershift transmission, and it's got 24,000 some odd hours on the clock. This one needs a cab too. This one is in horrible shape. Jump up in there, bud. We'd had the engine done on it here a little while ago. This clock, and where are we at here?
It's over there.
This clock is 22,319. Now this is not the original clock. I remember when I was a kid, the mechanic from Kaz, his name was Don, and Donnie actually. I remember him putting this clock in, and I remember the old clock sitting on a 5-gallon pail after he put this hour meter in. I think I call it an odometer. It's not an odometer. It's an hour meter. I remember him putting this in there, but I do not know how many hours were on the original clock, the original hour meter. The original hour meter would not have 5 digits. This one's got 5 digits plus the tenths. The original ones would not have that. This is a Powershift transmission. Again, this cab is in rough shape. This engine was rebuilt on this about 4,000 hours ago, I believe, if I remember right. We probably should have never done the engine on this tractor with the overall condition that this one is in, but I had a bunch of work done to the front end prior to the engine going, and it had a lot of transmission work done on it, so we put like 35 grand into it between the front end work that was done the prior year and some transmission work, and of course the engine that went into it. This tractor's got 2 remotes. Again, it's a 15-speed Powershift with a mechanical front axle. Go ahead, start her up, bud. I plowed a lot of ground when I was a kid with this tractor and baled a lot of hay with it. At one time, this tractor was the biggest tractor on the farm. Alright, we're going to move on to the next tractor here. Again, at one time this tractor was the biggest tractor on the farm. Now all it does is spread manure. That's all we do with it anymore. So, alright, we're going to move on to the next tractor. Alright, we are at the 7710 now. This tractor we bought used several years ago, back in like 2002 maybe. I don't know. This is like a 97 model. It had like 3,000 hours on it or so when we bought it. The loader, of course, did not come on it, but this tractor was a loader tractor prior to us buying it. This loader we bought used from the dealership. This loader is obviously on a 7000 series tractor now. We have a set of frames for it to go on to the 4450. We had this loader on the 4450 as well. This tractor has the joystick control in it. for this loader. This also has a set of duals. It's got 18-438 tires on it, and we planted corn with this. Oh, my father and I used to run 2 corn planters. We ran 2 6-row corn planters. We had this 7710 and a 7810. This tractor come from the Midwest with, you know, just a few thousand hours on it. Now it's got, I don't know, we're gonna look, see how many hours it's got on it in a minute here. We had one of the guys putting straw away with it last year. Had a bale come down and broke all the lights out of the front of the cab and cracked the roof on it. So we've got to address that here sometime. It looks real rough. We're running a manure pump with it, and this cab is decent. Otherwise, you know, the fenders are solid on it. The tractor's not rotted out at all. You know, it obviously could use a little bit of paint maybe, but this tractor's got a fair amount of hours on it. It's got, what the heck does it have on it for hours?
It's got a couple thousand.
Now you can see the front windshield here is, you know, this is common on these damn things, this bar here. So this tractor's got 13,803 hours on it. It's got a power quad. These are power quads. A lot of guys get these, get the 4250 series mixed up with these. Those quad range transmissions in the older tractors were not power quads. These are power quads because you have 1 through 4 that you can shuttle through. The older 55 series and prior were not power quads. This has got the joystick in it for the loader, and I do not like using this joystick. When I use the loader, we use the 2 SCV levers. I can run them SCV levers better than I can run this cable controlled joystick for the loader. So although this is in here, we do not use it for a loader control. So Junior here, he's going to go ahead and start this old girl up. So go ahead, bud. Alright, that's good. This 7810 we bought back around the same time frame, 2003, 2004. We planted corn with it, we baled hay, we cut hay with it, you know, did all them type things with it when the first couple of 3, 4, 5 years that we had it. Now all we do is feed cows with it. It's married to this mixer wagon, and that's all it does is feed cows. It's got just shy of 17,000 hours on it. We did an engine on this tractor 7,000 hours ago. We did it ourselves. We just bought a reman engine, and we put it in there. We ran out of the shop. This has got 18-442 tires on it. We have a set of duals for it as well. It's running a Supreme 900T mixer. This tractor's got 3 remotes on it. It's been a decent tractor. Outside of putting an engine in it, that's all the work that we've done to it. Go ahead, start it up, bud. But again, all it does is feed cows. It never comes off the mixer wagon. So Junior's going to start it up. Purrs like a kitten, you know, naturally, you know. That's a buddy seat that we had added to it.
This has got 760.
Move over. We'll just go ahead and pull this inside. But yeah, we've got, change over to the hours here. 16,972 hours on it. you could easily convince somebody that this tractor only has 7,000 hours on it. I can't believe John Deere didn't change those hour meters to a 5-digit hour meter. This is a 7720 that we feed cows with. This tractor we bought used as well. I don't remember exactly when we bought this tractor. It might have been 2008, 2006. I'm not sure when we bought it, but at any rate, Cash Crop Farmer had owned it prior to us owning it, and it had like 17, I want to say it had 1,700 hours on it when we got it, and it's got right around 17,000 hours on it now. All we have ever done with it is mix feed with it. We married it to a mixer wagon. It was actually on, well, I believe it was this mixer wagon right here. When this mixer wagon was brand new, we put that 7720 on it. When this 900 mixer was new, and then we bought this 1200 mixer and moved things around, and that's where this tractor landed. Here was on this mixer wagon. This has got a power quad transmission in it as well, just like the 7810 here. It's got 17,000 hours on it, like I said, and all we've ever done is mix feed with it. We had one issue with this not early on, but it was a few years ago, where the drive coupler comes off the back of the engine and goes to the transmission. That drive coupler came apart, and when it did, it ripped a bunch of hydraulic lines off, and they had to do quite a bit of work to get that back together. So that will jump up in this thing and take a peek here. Again, this tractor, go ahead and turn it on. Go to the hour meter. Now, this hour meter is a 5-digit hour meter. That's got 17,123 hours on it. We're going to go ahead and step out of this, and Junior's going to start it up. Okay, so that's going to do it for 7720. We're going to move on to the next tractor here. Alright, next tractor that we're going to do here is a 6030. This is a 1977 model. This is a tractor that my brother bought back around 99 or 2000. He had always wanted a 6030 ever since he was a little kid. And this actually is the year that he was born as well. So he found this tractor, fell in love with it, bought it out of Burrs Brothers down in Connecticut. He later changed the rear tires over to these are like a 710 or something like that. I forget what the heck they are. They're a big old wide tire. I can't even see what the heck size they are. Maybe they're 620s or 700s or something. I don't know. They're a big old wide tire, but he had the rims widened, and this has got it just flipped 10,000 hours here. About a month or so ago. Junior's up in there. He's going to start her up. This one's got 3 remotes, synchro range transmission, Hinson cab with AC and heat, which the AC and the heat don't work. Big old brute of a tractor. John Deere only made a select number of these. They made these from 72 to 1977. So this is the last year that this tractor was made. Go ahead. This one. Well, we'll move on to the next tractor here. This is kind of a primitive cab by today's standards. They had the PPO this is an 8110 that we bought brand new in 2001. This tractor we used to cut hay with, fit ground. Now all it does is run a spreader and just general work. This tractor's got just shy of 14,000 hours on it, and it has not had any major work done to it. We had injectors put into it and an injection pump this winter. The electronic part of the injection pump malfunctioned on it this summer. Don't know and don't remember exactly what happened to it, but they ended up putting the dealer ended up putting a brand new injection pump in it, and they wanted to do the injectors too, just because. I said, I'm go ahead, and so that's the only amount of work that the only amount of work that this tractor has had done to it. Yeah, this tractor's in rough shape, but it's done a lot of work here on the farm. It's been on the roads in the salt. The cab has got some rot to it. The fenders have some rot to it. But, you know, it's just a general purpose tractor anymore. 3 remotes, dual PTO on it. As you can see, the back of the cab is a little rusty there. That cover that goes over the top of the rock shaft and whatever, it's rotted out and whatnot, but it is what it is. So could use a bath, but we need to get on that stuff here when it warms up, and obviously it's warm enough today. Maybe they'll get to that tomorrow. So yeah, you can see this cab pretty well shot on the floorboard and whatever. So, alright, go ahead. Alright, he wants to start this, so go ahead.